Hello everyone, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason, I'm an alchemist, and I'm in the middle of the forest here in eastern Canada, in a particularly important spot to me. So I grew up in an Acadian village, and my wife did as well, and her family inherited this property that I'm on from the 1700s likely. And before that, it was the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq, our native group that lived in this area. Hopefully it's not too windy. But I'm here on a particular piece that we decided to clear. So as in clear, I mean clear the undergrowth to try to give the white-tailed deer a half a decent chance of getting some food and forage, because this place is like a jungle. If you look behind me, that's the natural state, and you can see what we've done here. We've cleared some space. Now, as soon as you stop, things go right back to where they were, the natural state of this place. These trees have reached their maximum height. There's no way they're going to grow any bigger. And it got me thinking about fighting against nature and trying to carve something out that we deem as more beautiful or more useful, when that's not the natural state that the environment wants to do. So if we left this alone for 10 years, I would say, it would be unrecognizable, and you wouldn't be able to tell that we were even ever in here. And, I've reached a new level in my understanding of what the point of all this is. Hey guys, back again. I just thought I'd go down to the car and finish the video because, well, wind. And I wanted to maintain my peace while I was in the woods. So my dog is in the back. You can see her right now with her head perched. And she might make a little bit of noise, so bear with me. So yesterday, I was in the forest here doing that video, and I got a phone call from a political party, because in Canada here we have an election coming up very soon, of which I refuse to participate. But it doesn't stop them from calling you and disrupting your peace and trying to invade that space that you've created for yourself. And for some reason, I forgot to turn my phone on airplane mode, which I never do. So anyway, I got a little disrupted, and I decided I'd come back down to the car, which I just realized I didn't turn my phone back on airplane mode. So if I get a phone call, goodness. But I'm in a state of peace, and I'm not even sure what to talk about anymore. I've reached a point where I feel like almost nothing really matters. I don't mean that in a negative sense at all. I mean that I don't have any goals anymore. I don't want anything. I have everything I need as far as I can see right now. And if I had less than this, that would be fine as well. It's a funny, strange place to be. It's an impermanence, accepting impermanence and going with the flow, and like none of this earthly stuff matters. So part of the video that I was just making was to describe the fact that no matter how hard you fight, you can't make a mark on this planet forever. Nothing permanent anyway. As soon as you let up the gas a little bit, Mother Nature's going to take back over. And rightfully so. It's a state of being fine with impermanence. Not just fine with it. It's liberating. It's the way that we're supposed to be. Just flowing through nature instead of trying to subjugate it or anything for that matter. And when I get disrupted by the matrix trying to draw me back in and get me concerned about things outside of myself, it just doesn't work anymore. I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm done. I'm finished. The only thing that matters to me is my family and that cute dog that's sitting in the back. You know, it doesn't mean I don't have preferences. I definitely have preferences. I prefer this car to other cars. That, you know, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say maybe a nicer jacket would be good, but I'm fine with this one. Yes, it's torn. Who cares? It does serves a purpose. It keeps me warm. I don't care what people think. Therefore, then it doesn't really matter, does it? So what is this video about? I had a interesting thing happen to me yesterday. Very, very interesting thing. So I made a comment on a video. I will link her channel down below. I think it's called Vibe Mentor. And a small channel. I think she has 2,600 subs. She did a video last year. I commented on it that I was in the shadow work phase. And what it was a description of the 12 stages of awakening, as far as she's gone through them. And it's a very good video. Last year, 1 year ago today, I was in the shadow work phase. And when for some reason she decided to post a comment on my comment 1 year to the day, and then I rewatched the video and I realized that I'm in the final stages of the awakening process. This is the final stages where you just don't care about anything anymore. It doesn't mean you don't love your family and you don't have preferences, like I said. It just means that I have no wanting. If I get a big house, great. If I don't, okay. You know, I've walked up in that forest and I could easily see myself spending months in a small cabin just on the corner with no wanting. You know? It's so different. This level of peace that I've reached. It's an unwinding of all that conditioning that my body and mind went through from being a little child to now. It's finally starting to get reprogrammed. Where instead of going back to the fear and the conditioning, I go to peace every time. Oh, my jacket tore. Well, okay. So I'm unfazed is what I'm trying to say. And it's taken a long time. You know, I had this awakening started in 2013. I had a sort of a descent back into sleepiness, then a jolt back in the summer of 2023, even a bigger jolt in Christmas of 2023. So it's been going on for a decade plus, and in varying forms, varying levels. And like I said, last year I was not even halfway through this process, and now 1 year later I'm at the finish line. I'm at where you want to get to, where you're unflappable, where you're unfazed by all this nonsense on the outside. You see it for what it is. You're not trying to fight against nature and the outside world, beating your head against a wall, trying to conquer it and think your way through that system. You've released control to the Almighty. You've thrown your hands in the air and you realize you're on a boat that you can't steer and you just have to go with the flow. It's, like I said, it's liberating, and it's a level of peace that I haven't had in a long time. I'm not sure if I've ever had it, other than that 3-day enlightenment period where they turned all this off so I could see what the end result would be. That's as close as I came. And I find myself sleeping. I'm almost in tears. I haven't slept in forever. I didn't sleep particularly well last night, but when I did fall asleep, I slept well. So what I'm trying to say is all of that conditioning and that behavioral patterns that we have from society built into us winds us tight. At least it did for me, and I was extremely bound by the way we were supposed to do things that didn't make sense to my higher self. But I was conditioned, and I had to keep doing them that way. I had to keep thinking that way, that elections are important and that fiat money matters in the grand scheme of things. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It's not even real. I mean, if you really go deep enough, not even this nature is real. It's part of the matrix. It's just the part that we're supposed to be aligned with. You're creating all of this from right here. All of it. The planet. You know, I heard a comment that made me laugh. Someone said that it's as real as the ground that you stand on. It's not real. The ground you're standing on is not even real either. It's all energy. All of it. I don't know. I find this stuff so humorous now as I separate myself from it. When I see these divine synchronicities that just happen, like people commenting 1 year later on the post that I made, so that I could see how far I've come. That's what that was. Like I said, I'll link her video in the bottom. You can watch it for yourself. Here comes somebody driving way too fast. Okay, Matrix. Nice try. This game, like I said, it becomes humorous. You find yourself unwinding from all that conditioning, and then all of a sudden you have nothing to think about anymore. You've released the reins to God. He's driving whatever, I say he, whatever Om decides is the correct path for you. That is the correct path for you. There's nothing you can do to change it. Let go, let God. And I've reached the level of understanding of that statement that is, well, it's profound. Hi, Tilly. All right, I think I'll leave it there. My dog's getting restless, and she doesn't deserve to to be waiting around while I do this stuff. She's a divine being herself, and she deserves respect. So we're going to give her the respect she deserves, right, Till? Anyway, like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon. Come here, Till. Good girl. How are you?